Hello there. I'm Professor Indra Abeysekera. One of the learning goals in this workshop is for us to understand how to eliminate intra-group inventory transacted during previous period. It was transacted during previous period. The gain was in the previous period, and then the inventory was bought in the previous period, and that inventory then became cost of goods sold in the current period. There are 3 points to note. One is inventory is a current asset. So the previous period inventory become cost of goods sold in the current period, because inventory is a current asset, and current asset becomes an expense gets settled in the current period. Asset can have deferred taxes, because when the carrying value is different from the tax base. But the deferred taxes recorded in the previous period because there was an asset, and when that asset becomes an expense or a cost, then the deferred taxes also become a tax expense. Let's look at an example. 1st of July 2012, parent acquired 80% of the subsidiary. So the percentage of acquisition has no bearing on the elimination. We must eliminate intra-group transactions in full. On 1st of October 2012, subsidiary sold inventory for 10 million to the parent with a profit margin. 1st of July 2013, one half of this inventory is still held on hand. That is end of the previous period. 50% of inventory held on hand. 50% has been sold. Let's look at how we do the journal entries. First, inventory cost is 4, was sold for 10 in the previous period. Unrealized gain is 6. In the previous period, that was cost of goods sold, and then it became inventory because a portion of that was not sold. Now let's put that into previous year's perspective. The sale is in the previous period, subsidiary sale. So that's opening retained profits. Anything that happened in previous period, record in opening retained profits. Cost of goods sold was sold in the previous period. It is in opening retained profits. Gain on sale of inventory, and that is in opening retained profits in the previous period. And the inventory, the cost of goods sold, when parent bought it, it is opening, it is again opening retained profits. But that inventory in the current period becomes cost of goods sold. Inventory in the current period becomes cost of goods sold, because it's a current asset. So that inventory becomes cost of goods sold. We had inventory, and that is now in the current period cost of goods sold. But the cost of goods sold in the previous period is in opening retained profits. So let's look at the general journal entries. Subsidiary sold it, opening retained profits, and received cash. There was inventory, and that inventory that was in the previous period is now cost of goods sold, and the cost of goods sold in the previous period becomes opening retained profits. Parent paid cash and bought inventory, purchased it. It is now opening retained profits. It's in opening retained profits. And then there's inventory. That inventory, it has now become cost of goods sold. Previous period inventory has now become cost of goods sold. And the cost of goods sold in the previous period has now become opening retained profits. So for the general journal is debit opening retained profits, credit opening retained profits for the sale and cost of goods sold in the previous period, 10 and 10. Then for the unrealized profits, it is credit opening retained profits in the previous period, and debit cost of goods sold, because inventory has become cost of goods sold, 6. We must reverse this entry for consolidation. But when we reverse it, we have to realize that only 50% of inventory is still held. So let's do it. Buy and sell transaction. Sale and cost of goods sold, they are in opening retained profits, 10 and 10. In fact, we don't even have to do that entry, because it's debit and credit opening retail profit, 10 and 10. Second, eliminate unrealized gain and the overvaluation of inventory. Unrealized gain is we have to debit, decrease opening retained profits, and it is 16 to 50%, because 50% of inventory is still there, and the other 50% have been sold outside the economic entity. It has earned the profit, and that profit is realized. Cost of goods sold, inventory in the previous period have now become cost of goods sold. To decrease the overvaluation of previous period's inventory, therefore, we credit cost of goods sold, because this inventory has changed the form to cost of goods sold, because it's a current asset. When we do the second entry, then there's a tax implication. We are now decreasing opening retained profit. Then we must decrease the tax impact of it. 30% of that is 0.9 ladies. And we are now increasing the profit, because we are decreasing cost. If you are decreasing cost, profit increase, income tax expenses increase, 30% of 3 is 0.9. In fact, if we think in another way, that when the asset became cost of goods sold, and the deferred taxes also becomes income tax expenses.